I am JC, formerly Joshua Lynn Corum, the owner of CORUM Integrated Solutions Incorporated, the founder of CIS Trading, the creator and developer of Thinkorswim Toolkit and TradingView Toolkit, the originator of Great Gatsby Pro Trader, the author and instructor of Pro Trading, the transliterator of Hagame Latau, Covenant Cross, and the Jeremiah Project, the source of CORUM'S capitalism theorem, which is a new capital market philosophy and economic theory arising from a degree in psychology, a background in Jewish history, revolutionary American history, and as a student of Abigail Adams, a life focused on real faith, a higher sense of family, the extraordinary work of womanhood, better education, the philosophy of law, correctness in politics, and a focus on religious virtue and quality throughout world history, culminating into a holistic experience with Yeshua Messiah in the person of Jesus Christ. The publisher of a world-leading psychoanalytic approach to consciousness and prosperous thinking, cultivating a therapeutic lifestyle in the humanism of sacred space and time. I am a person who has been dispossessed of my fatherhood, whose chivalry and husbandry has been violated by the foul dust of the Great Gatsby, whose life of work was discounted in the world, whose accomplishments and achievements were depleted of value, whose heightened sense of awareness and romantic readiness has been threatened by the beast of Kate Chopin's awakening, and whose inherent, independent, declarative, inalienable rights as a human being and an American of native heritage were diligently disenfranchised by a Democrat demagoguery politically poised for corruption and tyranny. Every usurpation of my person, my property, my possessions, my pursuit of happiness, and my practice of principles has guided a realization that the American experiment has failed, and the future of the United States of America is endangered by an intentionally misguided, destructive course of socio-economic error. This is a political awakening, the first light of an American dream. All the dreams of the Great Gatsby shining in the dark, vast, open world, entertained by his presence and absent of any truth in his own person. This is not the dream of a Catholic president, nor the dream of an African-American community organizer in Atlanta. And most certainly, this is not the dream of a socialist immigrant, nor the dream of a political propagandist exploiting social diversity with inclusivism. This is a declaration of an American dream, a solution in the darkness, an extraordinary hope for the promises of life, a light for the world. This is a father's love for his child. This is a husband's desire for his wife. This is a king's decree for his kingdom. This is a priest's prayer for his people. This is a prophet's plea for right action. This is a new beginning. This is a hope in a far better country. This is a blank screen. This is a nothingness. This is for domestic tranquility. This is for the one to come. This is for the one who came. This is for the one nation who sets itself beneath the Creator and the Judge. From CORUM'S capitalism theorem and based upon the principles of real capitalism. This is an introduction to a sociological perspective written in the year 2000 at the turn of the 21st century by a college student working 3 jobs, serving in children and youth ministry, an American Dutchman with a Cherokee ancestry and an ancient Egyptian quality, called by a Latin name with a heritage from the land of the Tigris and Euphrates before Abraham and before the Sumerians. My name is Corum, Joshua Corum. This is the CIS tax plan, including the Poverty Prevention Tax System and Program, and the EASY tax, the Employment Securitization Investment Tax, and the new MediCare and Social Security Special Needs Services. There are $225 trillion in total capital supply in the U.S. economy. Current tax revenue in the United States is $3.63 trillion. The current spending by the federal government in the United States of America is $4.53 trillion. The total annual deficit is $1.09 trillion. The current total projected tax revenue in the United States is $3.4 trillion. This is the solution. $3,354,620,000,000 will become the new federal income tax revenue basis. This is the truth. The new Poverty Prevention Tax General Welfare Program, guaranteed by the signers of the Declaration of Independence, costs $1,980 billion. The annualized federal expenditure budget under the initialization of the PPT, or the Poverty Prevention Tax Program, and the inception of the new CIS tax plan shall be $1,214,620,000,000. The new Social Security for special needs, disabilities, and veterans with no more Social Security income distribution, but funds dedicated to supplement services for those who qualify, is $264 billion. This will provide additional assistance for persons with special needs, up to $20,000 to 13 million individuals, up to $10,000 for 26 million individuals, up to $5,000 for 39 million individuals. The new Medicare Universal 65% pay to provider discount, free health care, including the free prescription plan, for everyone earning less than $30,000 and costing $2,400 a year for anyone earning between $30,000 and $54,000 and $3,500 a year in insurance costs for those earning between $30,000 and $54,000 who have dependents. That's $264 billion of minimal funding, including the participants at a minimum level of $2,400 is an additional $240 billion if there are 100 million adult participants, and $350 billion additionally if all 100 million of those claim dependents. That means there is a $650 billion maximum funding to the new Medicare 65% pay to provider discount, free health care, and drug prescription plan, which covers an average cost of $4,000 a person per year in medical expenses. Estimates are that the health care costs will be reduced by 15% in the new under $54,000 per year Medicare health care plan. This allows for $4,000 per person in medical expenses. The total average costs of medical expenses are now currently $10,000 per person and will be reduced to at least $8,500 per person, where 180 million citizens who earn income greater than $54,000 use corporate insurances and average a higher cost of medical care. It is estimated that $5,000 of healthcare costs are elective, higher cost care paid by the wealthiest 50 million individuals. Under the $54,000 income plan, there will be a 65% total cost reduction from the provider's billing. So if it's $100, the insurance plan will pay $35. And there will be no copay, and there will be no deductible. The EC tax, the Employment Securitization Investment Tax, is a 0.5% tax on all income greater than $20,000. $50 billion of revenue will be allocated to provide at least 1,600,000 $30,000 or greater income opportunities, or $2,500,000 $20,000 or greater income opportunities. One very important change is the new Social Security Special Needs Program, combined with the EASY tax, the Employment Securitization Investment Tax, are enough to capitalize 13,200,000 individuals who currently have no income source at all, and provide, through that capitalization, at least a $20,000 a year earned income. That's 4% of the total population. This alone eliminates 100% of the indigent, homeless population without income. The new PPT, General Welfare Program, guarantees that 99 million Americans earn at least a $20,000 a year income, or 66 million Americans earn at least a $30,000 a year income, or 39,600,000 earn at least a $50,000 a year income. This ensures that 1/3 of the lowest income earning citizens, that's 112,200,000 individuals, will earn an income of at least $20,000, and 57,200,000 earn an income of at least $30,000. That's 169,400,000 citizens in the United States of America whose individual average income will be at least $23,376. And now, currently in the United States of America, 160,600,000 individuals already earn $60,000 a year or more. That's an average inflation-adjusted income of $41,200 under the new CIS tax plan, with the PPT program, the EASY tax, and the totally reformed MediCare to global health care and Social Security program. Today, the average inflation-adjusted income is $26,500. This means every single citizen will receive a wage increase in the first year under the program of at least $14,700 and 100% deductible free and copay free health care under the new plan will cost less than $50 per week for 150 million Americans. The new total tax revenue paid by the United States will become $3,822,620,000,000. And 100% of the population will earn a minimum income of $20,000, and 150 million of the lowest income earning citizens will have a 100% coverage health plan with no copay or deductible. This ends all current general welfare programs, including Social Security income, where the new Social Security will become a service for disabilities and special needs, including mental retardation. There will be no EBT, no WIC, no unemployment, and no subsidized housing, etc. This guarantees $20,000 a year in annual income provision to every citizen, prorated based on weekly reported earnings to the PPT system. Medicare will be transformed into a free national health care system for anyone earning less than $30,000 annually. Anyone earning between $30,000 and $54,000 can pay $2,400 per year in payroll deducted per individual plan, and $3,500 per year in payroll deduction if they have dependents to participate in the new Medicare program. But these individuals who earn at least $30,000 can choose corporate insurance options. Everyone earning $20,000 or more must pay a 2% Medicare tax on their income. Anyone earning greater than $54,000 a year must use a separate corporate insurance plan. They're not allowed to participate in the new Medicare free healthcare plan. A 2% income tax and $2,400 per individual earnings, at least $30,000, and $3,500 for those with dependents, funds the entire health care program need for all individuals earning less than $54,000. Social Security will no longer provide income payments. Instead, a 2% individual income tax on all earnings for individuals earning greater than $20,000 will be utilized to secure social services, subsidized housing for qualified special needs individuals, and special needs services including single parents, mental retardation, and disability services and funds. There will be no more Social Security income. The Social Security program will guarantee affordable housing for individuals over 60 years of age and individuals with special needs. There will be no more projects built by the largest campaign contributors in Chicago and New York for Barack Obama. Anyone earning less than $54,000 has no income tax liability ever. Not any one individual or organization in the United States shall ever pay more than 30% in income or capital gains tax ever. There will be no more itemized deductions for individuals. Corporations will pay the same individual income tax schedule, and itemized expense deduction legislation will be reviewed to simply establish a standard for corporate expenses, which is currently unnecessary. The easy tax, the Employment Securitization Investment Tax, is a 0.5% tax on all income greater than $20,000. and will be utilized for the purpose of providing adequate employment and income earnings. The PPT program, the Poverty Prevention Tax General Welfare Program, becomes a securitization of the general welfare sought in the Declaration of Independence to eliminate poverty and guarantee equality of life and economic opportunity. The Poverty Prevention Tax Program, the PPT program, will eliminate any and all social welfare income and discount programs currently being used by the federal government, and they will be terminated. Earnings will be subsidized up to $20,000 a year under the program for anyone who earns less than $20,000 a year, beginning at age 21. Earnings for every citizen earning up to $54,000 are income tax-free. From $54,000 to $100,000, there will be a 10% income tax on all income earnings. From $100,000 to $200,000, there will be a 12% income tax on all income earnings. From $200,000 to $500,000, there will be a 15% income tax on all earnings. From $500,000 to $1 million, there will be a 17% income tax on all earnings. From $1 million to $5 million, there will be a 20% income tax on all earnings. And from $5 million to $20 million, a 22% tax on all earnings. Earnings of $20 million or greater will be taxed on income never greater than 25%. Anyone earning $20,000 or more will be required to pay a 2% qualified health care and Medicare tax on their earnings and a 2% Social Security tax on all their earnings. Anyone earning $30,000 or more will have to pay a 2% poverty prevention tax in addition to the 2% qualified health care tax and the 2% Social Security tax, a total tax of only 6%, and it will be capped at $19,946,000 of income. So up to $19,946,000 of income will pay 2% poverty prevention tax, and earnings beyond $20 million will not be taxed the 2%. Corporate taxation will follow the exact same annual schedule for income tax and capital gains tax, except instead of Social Security and health care, corporations will pay an additional 2% to the Poverty Prevention Tax Program, which is a poverty prevention tax total of 4% paid by corporations. They will pay the easy tax, 0.5% employment securitization, investment tax on all income and capital gains. Every citizen, irrespective of the amount of earnings, even if their earnings are zero, are required to file an annual tax form reporting their income earnings. Any citizen receiving earnings less than a prorated amount of income on a paycheck will automatically receive the difference equivalent to the prorated earnings of $20,000. For example, if 1 week earnings on a paycheck are reported as $250, then the citizen shall receive a Poverty Prevention Tax Payment, a PPT, additional income payment of $134.61 added and subsidized onto their paycheck and paid through the PPT program through direct deposit or a PPT payment card. Also, any citizen earning less than $20,000 shall not pay any form of prorated taxes, including Medicare and Social Security. It is advantageous for anyone and everyone that earns less than $384.61 per week to report their earnings so that the benefit of the PPT program is adequately applied to their income earnings. In a case where an individual earns cash income, there shall be an appropriate local office appointed by the federal government where an individual can register and report those weekly earnings through a pseudo W-2 form, either online, by phone, or in person, so that if applicable, the PPT payment can be provided via a payment card program or direct deposit. For example, if an individual earns $150 cash for 1 week when they go to the appointed office for the PPT program and register, and they go online or by phone and they report their weekly cash earnings as $150, such a person shall qualify for an additional payment to their Poverty Prevention Tax debit card or direct deposit account of $234.61 for that week. It is advantageous for anyone and everyone earning income less than $384.61 per week in cash payments to report their income so the benefit of the PPT is adequately applied to their income earnings. Every week there shall be an electronic system and a phone system available for any individual earning income who is registered with PPT to report any cash income earnings. This system will also register any additional W-2 earnings that are reported by an employer, if they have any. In the case where an individual earns zero income, such an individual must register immediately at an appropriate local office appointed by the federal government that they have zero income. Beginning immediately at such time, the individual will qualify for a $384.61 a week poverty prevention tax income benefit. There will be a payment card system and a direct deposit available for any such individual to receive pay. Every week, there shall be an electronic system and a phone system and an in-person office available for any individual who is registered with PPT to report any cash income earnings. This system will also register any regular W-2 earnings if they have any. This will end EBT, WIC, Social Security disability income, and any and all other federal income subsidization. Special needs and disabled individuals who require other forms of assistance will register with separate appropriate agencies and offices to receive those benefits. Healthcare and disability services will be provided separate from the PPT program. Individuals earning a prorated income equivalent to $20,000 to $29,999, that is more than $384.61 a week, will pay only a 2% Social Security tax and a 2% healthcare tax on their income. Such persons will not be responsible for paying the poverty prevention tax or any income taxes. Any health care and disability services will be provided by the respective agencies and offices through Social Security. Any individual earning a prorated income equivalent to $30,000 to $54,000, that's $576.92 or greater per week prorated, will pay Social Security tax, healthcare tax, and the 2% poverty prevention tax immediately from their income at a tax rate of only 6%. They will not be liable for paying any form of tax on their income earnings. Whether married or single, separated or divorced, income taxation will simply be determined and calculated based on the prorated amount of income per week per individual. However, in the case of being married, any form of PPT payments received will be added to the total income of any income-earning spouse. So if the husband earns $250 a week and receives a PPT payment of $134.61, and the wife earns $1,038.46 a week, which is the prorated weekly earnings for $54,000 a year, then the wife must pay taxes on the income of the PPT payment earned at $134.61, and any other PPT payments received by the husband at the end of the tax year. Every income-earning citizen will receive a $54,000 a year tax-free credit. There will no longer be individual income tax deductions or itemizations or tax credits. They will all be eliminated. The first $54,000 of all earnings per individual will have zero income tax liability. The first $54,000 of all earned income per individual in the United States will have zero income tax liability. Every income-earning citizen whose earnings are greater than $30,000 and up to $19,946,000 will pay a poverty prevention tax of 2%. Corporate income tax will follow the exact same taxation schedule, except instead of Social Security tax and healthcare taxes, an additional 2% poverty prevention tax will be required, and thus the poverty prevention tax on corporations will be 4% from income greater than $30,000 in capital gains or reported income up to $19,946,000. All corporate income will be responsible for the easy tax, the Employment Securitization Investment Tax, ESI tax, of 0.5% on all earned income. The income tax rates for each year will be reviewed and published in October prior to the effective tax year. So the federal government every October will publish the next tax year's tax rates, so that in the last quarter of every year, every citizen and every corporation can make adjustments over that quarter for their liabilities in the next tax year. It is estimated that the maximum funding, that's the maximum funding, for the PPT program will require $1,980 billion. That's $1,980 billion US dollars. The individual income tax revenue from the PPT tax, the poverty prevention tax, will produce at least $27.6 billion. The corporate income tax revenue through the poverty prevention tax system will produce at least $1.2 trillion. Income taxation by the federal government will contribute an additional $752.4 billion to the PPT program. Individual income taxes will be at least $198 billion in revenue. Corporate income taxes will be at least $1,769 billion and $20 million in tax revenue. The total federal tax revenue, including PPT and income tax, will be at least $3,194,620 million. The current tax revenue is $3.4 trillion. That is an increase of total tax revenue of over $400 billion. while reducing tax rates to 0% for everyone earning less than $54,000, including businesses, and preventing anyone from ever being taxed more than 30%. And still creating a federal tax revenue that is $422 billion greater than what it is today. The total income tax basis for the federal budget, less the poverty prevention tax, is $1,214,620,000,000. The current income tax basis for the federal spending budget is $1.7 trillion. So while increasing the total tax revenue, there will be a net 30% reduction in the federal spending budget, which generates enough capital to supply 19 million more citizens with at least a $30,000 a year income. The easy tax, the Employment Securitization Investment Tax, provides $50 billion in revenue toward investments and allocations to secure employment and income of at least $20,000 annually per citizen through the PPT General Welfare Program. This reduces federal expenditures by $600 billion per year, and it increases the net federal tax revenue by $200 billion per year. Social Security income will be replaced by PPT, except for the disability and special needs benefits that offer additional funding for those special needs. There will be no more subsidized income other than the Poverty Prevention Tax General Welfare Program. No WIC, no EBT, no Social Security income, etc. All federal subsidization of personal income will be eliminated. There will be no subsidized housing except provided by states or municipalities. There will be contract housing programs through Social Security Disability, which provides a reduced cost housing for individuals, not more than $500 a month. For single parents, not more than $350 a month. For families with 2 adults, not more than $700 a month. And for qualifying disabilities and elderly citizens. There will be a corporate cooperative discount program, the CCDP, which will be a free online coupon registry available for every citizen. That means every corporation in the United States of America will be able to register and participate in the corporate cooperative discount program, the CCDP. They will be able to register and provide coupons to consumers directly through a federal free online coupon registry. The economic value of the CIS tax plan and the Poverty Prevention Tax General Welfare Program, based on CORUM'S capitalism theorem, has extraordinary benefits. Just listen. Currently, 70% of the U.S. population earns less than $20,000. And currently, 5% of the U.S. population has no ability to earn an income. So immediately, 100% of the population receives income of at least $20,000 right away, prorated weekly. The current U.S. budget tax revenue deficit is $1.5 trillion. With the CIS tax plan and the poverty prevention tax, the easy tax, and the new reformed 2% Medicare Social Security taxation system, the federal government will be able to reduce its spending budget by $600 billion. And in 5 years, the total tax revenue will create a surplus of $752 billion in the budget, the total budget for the United States of America. In 5 years, only 35% of the population will even be receiving a poverty prevention tax income subsidization. So the cost of the PPT after 5 years will be reduced to less than $1 trillion. It's $990 billion. And then the poverty prevention tax program will actually operate from a surplus of nearly $300 billion, combined with the $752 billion reduction and surplus in the federal budget on income tax earnings, and can be distributed immediately toward debt reduction in the federal treasury, such that in 20 years, the United States can reduce the debt to $11,286 billion without any budget deficit whatsoever. Here's some of the economic incentives. It becomes more beneficial for corporations and employers to provide an annual income of at least $20,000 to all of their employees, and it creates an extra incentive for providing wages which are at least $30,000 in annual income. The tax rates on income for corporations and capital gains are capped at 25% based on the bracketed prorated earnings schedule. So for corporations, it's advantageous for them to reduce long-term tax liability by providing income earning opportunities greater than $20,000. Not any tax rate shall exceed 30%. Thus, considering the tax value of all of those that are now paying 35% tax rates and capital gains rates, there is an extra $473 billion that will immediately remain at work in the economy to be reinvested and provide at least 9,460,000 income opportunities greater than $50,000 in the first year. Two-parent families earning less than $108,000 per household in middle-income America will have less than a 4% effective income tax liability. That's only $4,000 a year maximum for individuals and families earning $100,000. The mean effective income tax is estimated to be only $2,700. That's only 2.7%. No more individual income tax code, no more itemization, no more deductions, no more tax credits. Just $54,000 a year per individual, whether married or single, is a tax-free credit. They will not pay income tax on earnings less than $54,000 a year. The income tax is only collected from the W-2 paycheck if the prorated income per week is greater than $1,038.46 per week. So if their weekly earnings, when they receive their check, average out to less than $1,038.46, there will be no income tax. If they earn more than that, there will be an income tax. Every two-parent family in the United States will earn at least $40,000. The average U.S. individual income should increase from $58,500 currently to $74,500 within 5 years. The average inflation-adjusted income will increase from $26,500 to at least $39,200 within 5 years. Projected estimates are that we will reach those new high averages within the first 2 years. New businesses and companies will only pay a 4% poverty prevention tax and the 0.5% easy tax until they earn profits of over $54,000 annually. So new startup companies, businesses, and corporations will only have a 4.5% tax liability until they earn over $54,000. This is pro-business. It encourages every individual in the United States to take their resources, their talents, their skills, their abilities, and their assets, and to try and put those to work starting a business. Annualized income bracketed prorated adjustable tax rates, which promote income growth from $30,000 to greater than $100,000 per year, providing potentially 0% tax liability to families earning $100,000 or less. That's $30,000 more in income retention every 5 years for each U.S. citizen. In other words, they will retain $6,000 of their income that they formerly have been spending in taxation. And over 5 years, it amounts to $30,000. That's a new car for every 5 years per person. Crime rates for felony violence and felony theft will be reduced by 47%, and misdemeanor crimes of civil disturbance will be reduced by 68%. Sex crimes, including crimes involving children, are expected to be reduced 26%. The unemployment rate will be reduced by 50% immediately. The 70% of income earners below $20,000 will be reduced to 35%. That means that at least 115,500,000 individuals will see a wage increase of at least $6,000. In 20 years, the actual U.S. debt will be only $11,500 billion rather than the current $22,500 billion. In 20 years, the actual surplus will be greater than $1 trillion rather than a deficit of $1.4 trillion. And that means by the year 2050, the United States of America could be debt-free. That's $2.4 trillion in total savings that create surplus in the federal budget. The tax rates can be adjusted based on deficit or surplus for any bracket at any time each year. So those tax rates can be just adjusted up 1%, down 1% for each tax bracket or for one specific bracket. However, there must always be at least a 1% difference among each bracket. That's fair taxation. 100% elimination of poverty in the U.S. within 2 years. It is an incentive for every business, corporation, employer, and individual to produce a wage and income better than $54,000 annually for their employees, and minimally at least a $30,000 a year income annually. Every business, corporation, employer, and individual will see a tax reduction in their tax rate for income the more people that earn greater than $30,000 a year. There will be no more layers of bureaucracy wasting money to provide welfare services, unemployment, Social Security income, EBT, WIC, etc. but instead incentives to work, increasing wages, income security, real growth potential, less debt, and real economic opportunity. 100% accurate weekly unemployment and underemployment levels will be reported by the PPT system. There will no longer be any unemployment insurance. Unemployment insurance will be eliminated by the poverty prevention tax, and this will result in capital availability in corporations and companies to reinvest in new employment by providing at least 5 million new income earning opportunities of at least $30,000 per year. This is important because for capital markets and for the economy and for the governance of the United States of America, every day, real time, all the time, we will have a 100% accurate view of underemployment and unemployment to make necessary economic, capital structure, and capital market decisions to prevent inflation and overcome the cost of capital. The income growth earnings levels and the qualifying weekly prorated earnings are as follows. $384.61 in weekly earned income is equivalent to $20,000. Any individual earning less than $384.61 will receive a poverty prevention tax general welfare income assistance payment of the difference. $384.61 in earnings per week or greater will pay a 2% Social Security tax, a 2% healthcare tax, or for corporations, a 4% corporate poverty prevention tax. Earnings of $576.92 or greater per week will pay an additional 2% poverty prevention tax, as well as the 2% Social Security tax and the 2% healthcare tax. That's a total of 6% taxes on anyone earning greater than $30,000 a year, but zero income tax. Anyone earning $1,038.46 a week, prorated for $54,000 a year, will pay a 10% income tax, as well as the 6% for the Social Security, the health care, and the poverty prevention tax payment. Anyone earning greater than $1,923.07 per week will pay a 12% income tax, plus the 6% for Social Security, health care, and poverty prevention tax. Anyone earning $3,846.15 a week or greater will pay a 15% income tax, plus the 6% for Social Security, health care, and poverty prevention tax. Anyone earning greater than $9,615.38 a week will pay a 17% income tax, as well as the 6% Social Security, health care, and poverty prevention tax. Anyone earning greater than $19,230.76 per week will pay 20% income tax, as well as the 6% for the Social Security, health care, and poverty prevention taxes. Anyone earning $96,153.84 or greater a week will pay 22% income tax, as well as the 6% tax for Social Security, health care, and poverty prevention. Any individual earning greater than $20 million or $384,615.38 per week will pay a 25% income tax. And they will pay a 2% poverty prevention tax up to $19,946,000 plus 4% for Social Security, and healthcare. There will be a PPT registry office, a Poverty Prevention Tax General Welfare Program Registry Office in area locations established by the federal government where earnings shall be reported weekly by means of an electronic online or phone system or an in-person method. Every W-2, W-4 employer shall provide a registry to their employees who shall have the option of direct deposit or a pay card account, and when earnings for the payroll are issued, the PPT system will automatically calculate the qualifying amount for taxes to be paid or the poverty prevention tax assistance payment to be credited to their accounts. If an individual qualifies for a PPT payment at any time, it shall be at the time of payroll issuance deposited to the assigned poverty prevention tax debit card account or the direct deposit chosen by the employee. It's automatic. The employer reports the total income earnings to the PPT system, and the PPT system issues taxes or payments automatically every pay period. Simple. In the case of an employer failing to provide a registry, or in the case of cash payments or alternative means of income, it is the responsibility of every citizen, every person, to maintain a weekly registration for the poverty prevention tax system. It's simple. Everyone, regardless of income status, is registered once for all time by their Social Security number, personal identification number, and in the case of corporations, their EIN number. Every pay period or every week that earnings are reported to the PPT system, automatically through payroll or by phone or online weekly reporting systems. At such time, both taxes are assessed and paid based on the weekly prorated amount, and a qualifying poverty prevention tax general welfare assistance payment is issued for anyone who earns less than $384.61 a week. During annual tax filings for each year, every person, regardless of income, must file an annual tax form. This is very important. Not any longer will there be lengthy schedules of tax documents, itemization schedules, deductions, and tax credits. There will be one simple, easy form that is filed by every person electronically, in person, or by phone, and they can use a PPT office to file their taxes for free, which includes all income earnings and all taxes paid. That's all income, including cash payments, capital gains, inheritance receipts, employment income, alternative investment income, property inheritance, PPT income, insurance income, etc. Any source of income must be reported. Then at the time of the tax filing, the amount of taxes owed and the refund owed, or an annual poverty prevention tax assistance payment that remains in balance, will be paid based on the total annual tax filing, and it shall be paid in full at the tax filing deadline. This is simple, secure, successful. A real socio-economic political solution. A real American solution. A revolutionary solution. A quorum integrated solution. A whole new beginning.